Okay. I don't go live often, so I never know when it starts. I just went to 9 seconds, wrote some notes. If you're looking for the last video I did, I deleted it because I was not only rambling, but I got distracted. Anyway, I wrote some notes down. As the video title implies, I want to give my thoughts about a man named Aaron Fechter. Now, if you don't know who he is the founder of a company called Creative Engineering. He's also the man who invented the Rockefeller explosion. And anybody watching, please correct me if I'm wrong about that, but he's the current copyright owner and holder of the Rockefeller explosion, which are his intellectual property. The reason why I wanted to talk about him is because there's a lot of lies going on around him, a lot of hate. Now, he did not ask me to make this video, and as far as I know, Aaron does not even know that I'm making this video. But I wanted to basically put out a video defending him and, basically a fact versus fiction video. Just for the record, I will not be showing any pictures of any of his intellectual property. If you are unfamiliar with the Rockefeller explosion, which are copyrighted by Aaron Fechter himself, Google them, or check out his YouTube channel called The Rockefeller. Anyway, I basically wanted to make a video of fact versus fiction. Now, first of all, I noticed that there were people trying to claim that Aaron is racist. And their alleged, quote unquote, proof of this is the fact that he's very open about having voted for Trump and the, I guess, famous or infamous Trump sign he had outside Creative Engineering. I'd like to start off saying, no, he is not racist. Now, the proof of this that I saw was there's a video, one of the free videos on his YouTube channel, in which there was a Black family that he's going around and giving a creative engineering tour to. And he was very happy to show them the Rockefeller explosion. I think it had the Wolfpack 5 in that video. Whoever that other bear show was, or I'm sorry, whatever that other bear show was that sits in his basement with the, I guess if you didn't expect it, that, kind of jump scare-ish looking, bear behind the door thing. And he was very excited to show them. It was a family, it was like a mother and 2 kids. And he was very happy to goof off with the kids. And of course it has him with, and I honestly believe if that were true, he would not be genuinely having fun showing off his building. And in the video, Aaron is genuinely enjoying showing off his building and stuff. So I would like to say, number one, Aaron Fechter is not racist. Number two, I want to mention is I see a lot of, I saw some videos which I forced myself to watch through because I know that they're fake. I've done my own research and I know that they are fake, trying to claim that he's mentally unstable due to his actions. Okay, first of all, I have a question. Now, if you hear noise, it's just Cody, but I have a question for y'all. When is defending your intellectual property and defending your brand and your product from people that are making imitations of your brand and your product an act of mental instability? That's what I want to know. I mean, while on the subject, I believe that the people that are not in their right minds, and I'm just going to come out and say it, are the people that are defending the fan-made Rockafire programming. Now, using the garbage blue box. Now that I've brought up the blue box, I glanced at my notes just now, but I want to go back and say that defending your property is not a sign of mental instability. I mean, what Aaron Fechter is doing with defending the Rockafire explosion from, the people that are making, fake shows of it, which, I'm not even going to call them fan-made shows. I'm just going to call them fake shows, is the equivalent to the Rolex company defending their brand from the people making fake ones. And I actually hate mentioning other people's brands because I don't want to get sued, but if you happen to work for that watch company, I didn't mean to infringe on your copyright or anything if I did. I'm sorry. I just don't know, there's so much gray area between what's copyright infringement and what's okay that even I don't know anymore. But getting back on subject, Aaron Fechter only wants genuine Rockafire shows out there. And by genuine, shows that he's programmed. And as somebody who owns intellectual property myself, I invented, a little cartoon character that I show off on Instagram that I draw. I understand the need, I understand the need to protect your intellectual property. What Aaron is doing with wanting the fake Rockafire programs off of the internet and only favoring the Rockafire programs that he has programmed, that he has made, that's something I support. I support only, programs made by the original artist. And all he's doing, in my opinion, is just protecting his property. And it's no different than, protecting your physical possessions. I believe that all of your possessions should be protected, both physical and intellectual, and that there's nothing unstable about defending what's yours. Now, I mentioned the blue box, which I'm going to bring up, and my thoughts on the blue box are that I believe that it should never, ever be used to program somebody else's animatronics without their permission, or for that matter, at all. Now, the reason for that is that, I'm not, this might be surprising, but I'm not against the blue box existing. I'm against the blue box being used to program, Aaron Fechter's intellectual property, because it's being used to steal his property and make garbage shows, basically fake Rockafire shows. and my thoughts on the Rockafire explosion are the only shows that should be made of it are ones made by Aaron Fechter himself, and nobody else, unless they've gotten his permission. And anyway, getting back to the blue box though, I think that if one builds their own animatronics and they don't make them a ripoff of anybody else's animatronics, just invents their own animatronic characters and builds their own animatronic characters, then, and they choose to use the blue box to program and run said homemade characters, more power to them. But the blue box should not be used to run Aaron Fechter's characters. Now, my thoughts on Aaron Fechter are this, and I've left this part for the end because I'm hoping that y'all sat through this whole video. Anyway, my thoughts are, Aaron Fechter is a man that I respect a lot. I respect his business ethic. I mean, I actually own my own company doing something different. I'm a publisher, but, I respect his business ethic. I respect what the man does. I respect that, the man is fighting to protect what is rightfully his intellectual property from thieves. I have a lot of respect for him, and usually on YouTube, if I subscribe to your channel, that's because I've watched like 2 or 3 of your videos, and if I subscribe to your channel, that means, hey, I like your content. If I comment on your videos, comment on your comment or say something to you, that's just, hey, this is my thought on what you've just put out. Now, if I follow you on Instagram or like your thing on Facebook, that's like, hey, I really respect what you do. Or I really like what you do. And if I send you a message or purchase your product, spend money on your product, that's my way of saying, hey, I respect you and I support your work. But if I make a video of you defending you, sorry, got my mind on a lot today. That's my way of saying I respect you enough to speak out against the hate that's being said about you. I respect you enough to say something putting out the truth about you. Now, speaking of the truth, a lot of people like to misquote him on a video that that Aaron made. I'm going to say this much about it. Aaron Fechter was talking metaphorically when he was saying about beating people up. He wasn't talking about physically beating people up. He was just talking about, as I interpreted it, taking people to court and suing them over copyright infringements. And I support taking legal action against copyright thieves. I support taking intellectual property thieves to court. And I support protecting your property. Aaron Fechter is somebody I have a lot of respect for. My personal thoughts on the man are I believe that he is going to successfully bring about the Rockefeller Renaissance. I believe that that's already started with the shows that he's programmed and put on YouTube that are different things, like that hilarious song that he did featuring Billy Bob. Again, owned by that character's owned by Creative Engineering. And I hope that I'm not crossing the line even mentioning one of his characters, but anyway, my thoughts are he's doing the right thing with defending what's his. And I'm very sorry if I'm repeating myself. I'm used to typing more than I am speaking. And I even wrote notes and still am all over the place. So I guess I'll just go with this video. But getting back on track. You know, Aaron Fechter is a good businessman. And he is one of the few, in my opinion, and I'm sorry if I'm moving around a lot, I just can't sit still, but he's one of the few truly honest businessmen that are out there in the world. Because I've read things about people that grow their companies through pretty underhanded means, but you know, Aaron's grown his company, Creative Engineering, using completely honest means. And I really, really, really respect that. I respect growing your company honestly. I respect that a lot. Now, the only thing I'm going to say that's negative about Aaron Fechter is that I think that his biggest character flaw is that he tends to make comments, you know, negative comments about himself sometimes. You know, offhanded comments, but I mean, I think that he's in much better physical health than he believes. And I mean, the guy looks like he's 20. Anyway, you know, if his physical health is falling apart, I would hate to see what not falling apart at his age looks like. But that's the only thing negative I'm going to say. And I am also a paid member of his premium subscriber channel, which I'm going to say is, without giving away the content, I'm going to say is awesome. And I'm going to just say that if you're on his good side, go subscribe to it. You won't regret it. I've been a member for 2 years and love the content. And sorry, I'm trying to make sure I got everything out. But like I said, I'm used to typing things more than actually speaking. And I'm trying to get in front of the camera more and actually talk out my thoughts and not limit myself to typing only. So I'm very sorry if I look like I space out, or if I look like, or if I ramble. I type better than I talk, and I'm trying to be able to do both typing and talking at the same time. But again, to conclude, if you just skipped through to the end of this video after I've posted it, when it comes to Aaron Fechter, do not believe the anti-stuff about him that the haters are putting out. He is a nice guy, but he's just defending what's rightfully his. The people that don't like him doing that, they need to realize that he's just keeping the Rockefeller real. He's keeping, he's just defending his intellectual property. And there's nothing mentally unstable about defending what's rightfully yours. Also, before you go making false claims about the man, go and, go to his YouTube channel. And watch what's on his YouTube channel. That's where all my evidence came from, that, the facts that I just said in my video, minus the personal opinion about him, which is just from watching his videos. But, go actually look at his channel. I'll mention it in the details when I'm editing this video. And by editing, I'm just going to stick it up as is. And learn the truth for yourself. But look beyond, what stuff says on the surface. And, ask yourself, is this a metaphor or not? Also, I am rooting for Aaron Fechter. Thumbs up. Can't wait to see what he does with his intellectual property, the Rockefeller explosion, and also the Wolfpack 5. And I'll try to make a video a lot shorter than this and a lot more put together at another time. But again, I support what Aaron Fechter's doing with the Rockefeller. I have a lot of respect for the man, and I truthfully am rooting for him to be successful in getting the fake Rockefeller programs off of the internet, and only the real, genuine Rockefeller programs staying on the internet.